chat with you about Brady all season, but what did he prove exactly from that performance about his capabilities this season?
That he the GOAT. Hands down, he's the GOAT. I just think from the performance that he put on, not just in the Super Bowl, just throughout the season. I mean, he threw for 4,600 yards, 40 touchdowns, only threw 12 interceptions at the age 43. And it just shows you the work and the effort and what kind of competitor he is throughout this whole entire season, especially in a season where he was picked up by Tampa Bay. You're going through a pandemic and where you don't have a true offseason. You don't have a true training camp. And you're able to go out here and take this team to the Super Bowl, not only just take them, but win it, and also win the MVP for the year. I mean, it's the MVP of the Super Bowl. It just shows you what kind of guy he is and the time that he tries to put in to build what he was trying to build in Tampa. And, I mean, I can't wait to see what he does at the age of 44.
They peaked at the right time. Skip, and I don't think anybody can say, I think everybody will say this, he looked better at 43 than he did at 42. Because you see what happens when you get a level of talent around you. They had people, hell, I thought he was washed up. And then all of a sudden he gets Mike Evans, and he gets, gets Gronk back, he gets Chris Godwin, he gets an offensive line that can protect him, he plays behind a better defense. Because, Skip, I told you that defense, they give it up all out there. I don't know, Skip. I don't think that's a historic defense that he had in New England last year. But, Skip, he did a great job. The thing that you have to give Tom Brady the most credit for, he understands early in the game what type of game he needs to play in order for him to win, Crow. So he says, 100%. You know what? Our defense is playing so good. The only way the Chiefs going to be able to beat us today is I turn the ball over. So he didn't even come close to putting the ball in harm's way.
Nope.
The one that got tipped, Skip, that got tipped, but that was it. Other than that, nobody else even had a chance to intercept the ball. Either his guys were catching it or it was hitting the turf. So he does a great job of understanding the type of game that he needs to play in order for them to win. And so for me, and they got better and better week after week. Bruce Arians mentioned about a phone call they had during the bye week. And I told you, Skip, yeah, they're throwing the ball down the field, but this is more Tom Brady's offense than it's ever been with the play action, the crossing routes. Ain't as much as, no risk it, no biscuit. But Tom Brady just shows you through training, through understanding. His knowledge of the game, Skip, is second to none. He doesn't take a back seat with that. But he's learned how to avoid the big hit that can end it for a player of his age on any given Sunday. He's learned how to avoid that. That's a learned behavior, Skip.
But he learned that a long time ago.
But Skip, as you get older, you got to get better. You got to get better at it. They've done a great job. He's done a great job of that, Skip. But with the talent around him and the way they are, they need to keep a few of these key pieces. Now, a lot of these guys, Skip, Shaq Barrett, I don't know if he comes back. He's going to probably get $20 million. I don't know if he's coming back because Shaq, Skip, he was an undrafted free agent. Spent 6 years in Denver and made less than $5 million. Now, he did get the big payday last year with the franchise tag. But for Shaq, it's one his bite of the apple. Levante David is 31. $12, $13 million, or come back to Tampa for a chance to...
You will be rooting like mad for all of the above to exit stage left.
Skip, I always root for guys to get the money, because guess what? They're going to come a time, Crow, you can't eat Super Bowl rings. You can't sleep on them. You're going to need money, because that man going to say, oh, let me see you, Mr. Barrett. Let me see your Super Bowl ring. Your mortgage is due. So get that money, fellas.
Get out of town, fellas. Says Shannon Sharp.
No, if Tampa gonna give you $20 million, you better stay right there and take that $20 million from Tampa. No state tax and a chance to win.
I want to thank our man Antonio Cromartie for eating a little crow when it comes to Tom Brady, because he has doubted Tom occasionally on this show, such as last week, and he just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. Not only to our man Crow, but to my man Shannon Sharp, who lost 9 cases of Diet Mountain Dew thanks to Tom Brady's performance at Aaron Rodgers and against Patrick Mahomes.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
I went from a plus to a negative. I was up cases and now I'm down.
So to me, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. proved that to him, 43 is the new 23, because to my eye test, I thought he looked better than ever this year. I thought he did run Bruce Arians' no risk it, no biscuit offense, certainly through the first 12 weeks of the year, because he led the whole league in air distance, just distance he threw the football, and he led the league in the regular season in big-time completions, 20-plus yard completions. He completed 36 of those. So you got to give him doing what Bruce wanted him to do up to a point. Then I agree. Week 13, they had the latest bye week of any NFL team, and that's when they came to grips with who are we and where are we heading.
Yep.
And we got to add a little play action and some motion, some pre-snap motion to give me the ability to read a little bit better than I can read.
Quicker.
Yep. And they took off. And I believe Brady's leadership brought this team to a boil, right on schedule, December to remember, and then here they came. And he proved to me that he looks like he could play 3 more high-level seasons. I just believe that with all my heart and soul after what I just watched. And he proved that he's going to let Aaron Rodgers win as many regular season MVPs as he wants to, because Tom won the postseason MVP. I know he was Super Bowl MVP, but I think you can't argue he was the MVP of the whole 4-game run through the postseason. So in the end, to me, Brady showed you that he's better than ever at 43 as a leader, as a defensive reader, and as a big game poised performer. I just don't know if he's ever been better than this.
Not only that, Skip, but you got to think, Bruce Arians also said that he lets Tom Brady do a lot of coaching when he was inside of there. So he lets the guys, he knows exactly what he wants from the guys on the football field and where they need to be, so he can explain that to him. Bruce Arians let him have that freeway. But when you look at it, I mean, he has the weapons that's around, from Mike Evans to Chris Godwin. You have Scotty Miller. You think about it, you even have OJ there this year because he got hurt. You know, now you add Gronk. You know, he has the weapons around him, something that he really didn't have in New England. And when you have that, it makes things a little easier because no one can double team anyone. You can't go out and go do this. Everyone has to have a one-on-one matchup. And it makes things a little clearer when you can add the motions. And now you can see the zone. You can see if they're in man. And now you can actually dictate where the ball is going. Because if you look at that one particular play he completed down the field to Antonio Brown, had one-on-one coverage, he was looking that way the whole time. He just needed Antonio Brown to get the separation. So he just understanding what the defense is giving him, and he's taking it, and that's what he's excelled in since week 13. He went back to the New England way of picking and choosing his mismatches and getting the ball to the open guys.
I think another reason, Skip, and another reason that we saw Peyton Manning have success after he left Indy is that normally, Skip, what we're used to seeing is that as quarterbacks age, the talent around them aged. Peyton went to a young team, a talented team with young receivers. Brady goes to a team with young receivers as he's aging. Normally, Jerry and Joe were aging together. Joe went to a team, they didn't have young, talented receivers when he went to Kansas City. So you're right, he could play another 2-3 years if he could avoid a big injury or something like that. Because these guys, Mike Evans, I think all the top guys with the exception of Gronk, is under the age of 30. AB, I believe they're going to lose Chris Godwin because someone's going to throw a ton of money at him, somewhere between $16 and $18 million, and he's going to say bye-bye. But that's one of the reasons why you signed AB, because you feel you can replace Chris Godwin's production with AB and not miss a beat.
All right. Here's the final thing Tom Brady proved this year. He exploded the NFL myth that dream teams don't work. Remember 2011 Eagles, the dream team, and it was a disaster. Remember the 2000 Washington team with Dion and Bruce Smith? Bruce Smith, Dream team fell apart, didn't work.
Right.
Remember, he went out and recruited, Brady did, Gronk and AB and Fournette, and for what it mattered, LaShawn McCoy.
Right.
But they threw them all together on the fly. Did it work? Well, the first 3 guys I named were the 3 offensive stars of the Super Bowl.
Well, you mentioned Philly, you mentioned other dream team. You forgot one of the most important position, Brady. You can have a dream team, you can have a nightmare team. But if you got that guy quarterback, everything's gonna be. You're going to be able to sleep real good.
Especially when he's the guy who recruited your dream team.
Yes.